What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about marketing agency, and how to get clients for marketing, for digital marketing, for SEO, for PPC, for social media marketing, whatever it is that you do within the digital realm. Today we're going to talk about how to get clients for that. So lots of guys that watch our channel and girls are in the beginner phase of things. So I'm going to go through kind of a life cycle of beginner through you've got some traction to you're getting into the 6-figure, 7-figure agency range, and kind of work through, where you're going to have to be at in terms of how you generate leads and how you generate your clients and your sales. So I'm going to talk the difference between outbound and inbound. When you're just getting started and you've got no reputation in market, you've got no digital assets in place, no sources of leads coming in, you've initially got to go outbound in order to bring in lead flow and deal flow. So first place you're going to look to start is, or could potentially start, would be something like cold email. That's very popular within our space. Next option would be something like cold calling. Next option would be something like direct mail. And all of these are really good, viable options in order to bring in the leads. And what this is you being proactive and going outbound into the market, generating interest, creating and setting an appointment, and then having a sales qualified conversation. So cold email, cold call, direct mail. Other things I have here on the list are things like running Google ads for yourself, running Facebook ads for yourself. It could also be stuff like actively posting in groups, but I'll get more to that one in a second, because that's kind of a mixture between the two of them. So another thing you could potentially do is strategic alliances and joint ventures. So who already serves your client base? Who already works with them? And what kind of deal can you work out with that person to put you in front of their client base, their audience? So this could be, let's say you are you're offering, say, web design or Google Ads or SEO, and you'd like to pick up some local business clients. You might approach an accountant and talk to him about getting in front of his clientele. You might go to a Facebook group owner that's got a business community of some sort, whether it's niche specific or generalized, and see what type of relationship you could strike out there. Now, the thing with strategic alliances is you typically need proof. You need to be able to show them that you can do what you say you can do. So in order to set that up, if you're brand new, you may need to do some work for that particular alliance partner for free or at cost. And some of you may balk at that. The idea is think bigger picture. If you spend, let's say you gave that guy a $1,000 website. Let's say your cost to produce the website's $1,000. But he delivers you 10 new clients that pay you $1,000 a month. That one alliance that cost you $1,000 is now giving you or operating or helps generate, how do I rephrase this, is now putting you in front of a 6-figure business doing 10K a month. So don't walk over dollars to pick up pennies. Don't be short with your money. Think long-term relationships. Having said that, don't be a sucker. Look for a true win-win relationship. In some of those strategic relationships, clients are going to want some sort of compensation for a client, either on a one-off scenario or a recurring scenario. Some just want to know that their audience and their customers are in good hands and that you're a viable vendor for them, or service provider. It really depends. You're going to have to talk to them and feel them out. So I'd kind of put strategic alliances and joint ventures into like a middle category between inbound and outbound. And then also I would put in the inbound category, which we're going to go into next, I'll kind of give a couple of examples that I kind of put in that middle ground as well. So for inbound, you've got SEO that you've done on your website. You've got content that you've produced on your website that is ranking well and is not your main keyword. It's typically long tail supporting content, supporting keywords that are ranking well and driving leads for you. We've also got that with YouTube videos like this one here. YouTube videos, and these could be pieces of how-to content. It could be how-to or testimonials. It could be a mixture of both, I'd recommend. Also case studies where you walk through successful campaigns that you're running or results you've gotten for an SEO client, walking through the back end, maybe through Google Analytics or something like that. Next on our list is kind of the blended area. Now, going into Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups. Well, let me back up. First, initially posting on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn and Facebook posts. So these are on your page. So these are posts on your page. So let's say you're no longer friending friends from high school, and you're friending local business owners, people within a niche that you want to work in, and you're putting out pieces of niche specific or service specific content that you do, and you're just posting it on your page. That's one particular thing. Next would be going into LinkedIn and Facebook and posting in groups. Now, before you do this, what I would recommend is kind of read the rules of the group and make sure it's cool that you're posting this kind of stuff. I wouldn't be overly promotional. What I would do is provide value, be a go-giver, provide value, and what you're going to find is people will ping you in DM asking for help, or you're going to see stuff in comments and then you can ping that person. But you want to be giving value, not overly promotional, and be the go-giver. Don't be the dirtbag, especially if it's someone else's group. Having said that, in those groups, you can also go and look up whatever it is that you're doing. So if it's Google Ads, search Google Ads or search PPC or search pay-per-click, and start answering all of the questions that are out there. Start interacting in the group, and that's a good way to get a flow of inbound leads. So I kind of put that in a mixture of inbound and outbound. Outbound because you're immediately taking action on it, and it may generate a lead immediately. But what you're also going to find is that it's going to stay there for a long period of time, and you're going to get inbound leads from it. So I put it in that middle ground. Same with strategic alliances and joint ventures. You are going to have to go outbound to go get those strategic alliances and develop them, but they are going to turn into sources of inbound leads for you in the future. So it's a mixture of both for those. So we've gone through content, we've gone through SEO, YouTube videos, LinkedIn posts, social posts, Facebook groups. Another side of the inbound realm is stuff like webinars and then other pieces of more robust content. So it could be ebooks, it could be books, it could be courses, anything that is larger in package than, say, just like a blog post. What else do I have on here? And then also I'd throw retargeting ads on here as well. So any of this traffic that you're getting from inbound or outbound, if you could retarget that traffic and pick up low-hanging fruit leads on the back end, would be a good thing. And I'd recommend Facebook ads. I'd recommend $5 a day, something like that, nothing crazy. And retarget with something like a video testimonial or something along those lines. I like video for retargeting on Facebook more than I do standard posts. That's just my opinion, though. I'd imagine if YouTube had to set up Facebook retargeting campaigns, you'll get pros and cons of video versus text and all that. So take a look and do your own homework. But in my opinion, I like the video side of things. So this is kind of a broad strokes overview of all the different ways that we get, let me just throw strategic alliances / joint ventures / referral partners. So this is basically more or less all of the ways we get our clients. When we were starting out, it was heavily more on the outbound side of things. We had to do a lot of legwork, a lot of sweat equity, a lot of movement to get the ball rolling. In the background, we're doing all the inbound activities to try to ramp up. So you've got immediate actions you can do. You've got midterm actions, and you've got long-term actions. A lot of your inbound stuff is going to be midterm to long-term plays that you're doing. But you want them in play because as soon as you start getting inbound leads, your life becomes a lot easier. Those deals tend to close faster. They tend to close in larger deals as well, in my opinion. And it's easier to work off of inbound leads than it is outbound leads. However, when you're starting out, you don't have that, and time is typically what you have more than money. So you've got to start reaching out into the market and actively getting that business. So when we started a new agency, we started with specifically cold calling and direct mail, and that's how we broke into the market and built a six-figure agency in very short order. That's it. Since then, we've moved more into strategic alliances with a number of people, and we get leads from SEO and from content. So you don't always have to do the outbound side of things, but you've got to have something to get the ball rolling. You can't just sit back and wait for it to happen, because then you're going to be sitting for a long period of time and it's going to suck. So you do have to get proactive with it, and reach out into the market, and attack it. But at a certain point, you're going to be able to start leaning back on the SEO and the inbound. And when you do, life gets a lot easier. Sales gets a lot easier. It's more fun. However, in terms of predictability and scalability, there's something to be said for continuing with outbound, because outbound is you can put in predictive dials per day and predictive pieces of mail that you send out and predictive cold email that you put out, where you can gauge the growth a little bit more, rather than just on the inbound. So inbound, you're sitting and waiting back for things to happen, whereas with outbound, you can be aggressive with the market. Give you an example, and I've talked about this a ton of times in the videos, is HubSpot. HubSpot is, I think, the largest inbound marketing software on earth, and they've got an outbound sales team. So it should tell you something, where a company that makes all of their money off of selling inbound software has an outbound sales team. All right. So inbound is a glorious thing. However, it's not the end all be all. You do want to have a mixture of both. And what I always talk to my clients about is having stability in the business. The more ways you can profitably bring in business, the easier your life is going to be. The more you're going to be able to sleep easy at night, knowing that you're not built on a single bar stool leg that could tip over. So the more legs you add to the bar stool, the more stable it is. One way, it's going to tip over. Two ways, is going to tip over. You add a third one, all of a sudden you're stable. You're not crazy stable last in a hurricane. Yet in that fourth leg, it's much more stable. Then you just keep adding in supporting ways that you can make it more stable. The easier you're going to sleep at night, and the more resilient your business is going to be, assuming that you provide a good service. You know what? I don't even know if I mentioned, this is Ed here from ClicksGeek. I kind of just went right into this. If you have any questions, go into the description or go into the comment section, drop a question. Happy to answer those questions for you. And then also, two things. We've obviously got our Google Ads course. If you're looking to learn Google Ads, we've got a direct mail course, which is how we generate deals using direct mail. Walks through everything, gives you exact templates, how to customize the template, all that stuff. I'll put links to that in the description, and then also drop a link in there to subscribe for our email newsletter. We do a lot of lives on the channel where it is top on and you guys ask questions. So if that's of interest and want to know, ask your questions live or watch them live, just sign up for the email list and we'll send out notifications prior to those going live. And that's it. Also, we offer a white label PPC service. So if you're an agency or a freelancer and you need some help offering Google Ads to your clientele, hit us up. I'll drop a link to that in the description as well. You can check out our pricing for that if it's of interest. That's it for today. Ed here from ClicksGeek. Have a great day. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Take care. Bye.